Welcome to lesson 8-2. Today we're going to be looking at data, trying to summarize, take stock of what it means, using mean, median, and mode. And you'll see in a bit that mean and median are about finding about where the center of the data points are. And the mode's the one that happens most often. In addition, we'll be talking about range, and range is how far apart the data is spread. So news bulletin, you'll be excited to know this. You can use calculators as we calculate these values. Let's start with mean. Mean is a description of the center of the data. And what you do to calculate mean is what we've been doing all year to get your grades is you add up all the values and divide by the number of values. And you probably know this better as your average. Here's an example. Carla's in a bowling league, and we want to know the mean or average of the final scores of all the bowlers on her team. So one bowler has a 95, another bowler has an 87, an 84, an 81, and an 83. And so to find the mean, I got to add all those up and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to divide by 5. And so there it is. And I'll punch my values into the calculator, and this is what I get. And then I divide by 5, and I get a mean of 86. That's the average. Here's one for you to try. The next week, Maria bowls a 151. Nice job, Maria. And the other bowlers, they match their scores. They get the same scores. We want to calculate the new mean for all 5 people on the bowling team. So go ahead and give that a shot, and we'll talk about it in class. The next measure of central tendency that we're going to talk about is median. And median is the middle of the data set. So I need to put them all in order from greatest to least or least to greatest. Doesn't really matter. Usually we go least to greatest. And then find the middle value. So here's a problem. Trey and Sarah each download songs to their music library. Their players list each type of music and the total playing time in minutes for each type. We want to summarize their data using the median. I'm going to go ahead and start with Trey. We're going to put his data in order from least to greatest. And as I'm ordering them, I kind of check them off on the table. I also count them up. I've got 7 values there. I count them up on the table. I've got 7. I haven't forgotten any. All right. If the value is repeated, like the 67, I repeat it. And so now I need to find the middle value. And if I have 7 values, I'm going to count in 3, the 4th value, and then 3 on the other side. 63 is the mean for Trey. All right, let's try Sarah. All right, there they are. I've got 6 values this time. Uh-oh. With 6 values, I have an even number of scores. There's no middle number. There's 3 on one side, 3 on the other. What to do? Well, we find the middle of the middle. And you can do that by averaging those 2 values. You can add them up and divide by 2. Sometimes you can eyeball it. This is 40. The middle of 38 and 42 is 40. But I'll show you the calculation too, because the numbers aren't always so nice. And so there we go. The median is 40 for Sarah. The next thing we're going to look at is mode. And mode kind of sounds like most. And the mode is not the greatest value, but it's the value that happens the most times. So if we look at Trey's music library, everything happens once except for gospel and jazz. Both those happen twice. Happens 2 times. The others are once. So the mode here is 67. Now in Sarah's music library, none of them are the same. They're all different. So there is no mode. None of them happen any more often than the others. Just as a side note, you could have 2 modes, right? I could have, what if I had another 62 here with Trey? Well, then the mode would be 62 and 67 because they both happen twice. Here's another one for you to try. Nadia, she scored a 95, a 75, an 85, and a 95 on 4 quizzes. We're asking for the mean, the median, and the mode for her grades. So go ahead and calculate those and we'll talk about them in class. Here's another thing that we can use to classify or characterize our data, and that's to calculate the range. The range is how far our data is spread apart. So we're going to look at the largest value and subtract from it the smallest value, and that's your range. So with Trey, the largest value was 72 minutes. Okay, and the smallest value was popular music, 59 minutes. So 72 minus 59 is 13. That's the range in minutes of Trey's music. Sarah's music, well, why don't you go ahead and give that a try yourself. Find the largest value, the smallest value, subtract them, and calculate the range for Sarah. All right, now we're going to use all of them to describe this data set. 7 people waited in line for the Whirl and Twirl Carnival ride. Find the mean, median, and mode and range of the wait times for the carnival ride. What do the mean, median, and mode tell you about the wait times? What does the range, as a measure of variability, tell you about the wait times? Variability is how much it varies or how much it differs or changes. So let's calculate these one at a time. The mean is the sum of all the values divided by the number of values. So there it is. When you're using a calculator for this, if you are, just be really careful not to type it in wrong or whatever, forget a value. It's easy to make mistakes. And just make sure that your mean makes sense in the end. Anyway, if I add them up, I get 91, and I divide it by 7. And then if I divide that, I get 13. So the mean is 13. Now the mean is a measure of the center. It can't be smaller than the smallest value, which is 10. It can't be larger than the largest value, which is 15. So if you get a mean that was smaller than 10 or greater than 15, you made a mistake and you need to recalculate your mean. Remember, for median, we need to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. And there they are, and I counted them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That matches the number of values in the table. And now I got to find the median is the middle, which happens to be 13. So there's the median is 13. The mode is the value that happens most often. And since I have these in order, I can see that I have 2 12s and 2 15s. So the mode is 12 and 15. And once again, the range is the biggest minus the smallest, and these are in order again, so that's handy. So the biggest is 15, the maximum. The minimum is 10, and so I get a range of 5. Okay, so the spread between the quickest wait time and the smallest wait time was 5 units. Now looking at my data points here, I can see the mean and the median happen to be the same. That's just by chance. It doesn't happen that way all the time. So about the average wait time is 13 minutes. You can expect that you'll probably wait about 13 minutes if you want to go on the Whirl and Twirl. All right? But it could vary. It could vary anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So that's it. Here's some straight up practice. Let's go ahead. Find the mean, median, mode, and range for this set of data. You probably don't need a calculator for this. These are pretty easy numbers. But if you want to, go for it. And we'll go over this next time I see you. Take care.